You can't love a woman and be afraid of her pubic hair. You're welcome to another episode. Good morning, Sabah al khair, bonjour, Kolafia e karo, Ansuma, Daswa, Mamachi. Our first story on page 12 of PMP of 3 to 5203 is a question. That's you and your health. Am I pregnant? The questioner is Lauren Leo, who Ghana. Am I pregnant? This is a question posed to the doctor. I am a girl of 19 years and and I have a very big problem. It's not a big problem. My problem is that I started my period on the 10th of September 2003 and she stopped on the 14th, but I visited my boyfriend on the 14th and demanded to have an intercourse on the 14th, who demanded to have an intercourse with me. I insisted, but finally gave in to his demand. As a result of this, I bled on the 15th too. Please, doctor, I want to know whether I'm pregnant because I'm a student and my parents are mere farmers. Lauren Liu, who doctor says, having an intercourse on the last day of your menstrual period is not likely to get you pregnant. So other girls of the same age will learn from this. This is because pregnancy occurs when the sperm meets the ovum, into brackets eggs, in the fallopian tubes, where fertilization occurs. The last day of your period, the ovum had already traversed the fallopian tube. Hence, an intercourse at that time will not result in pregnancy. Paragraph. If pregnancy should occur or you think you are pregnant, then it should be due to an earlier intercourse that you had during the unsafe period, more so if it was done unprotected. You can't also talk about pregnancy when it's not yet time for your next period. Full stop. Also, just missing your next period does not necessarily mean you are pregnant. Paragraph. If you probably had an unprotected intercourse prior to that on the 14th, on the 14th, and you think you are pregnant, I suggest you confirm this by doing a pregnancy test. I will also advise you to focus your attention on your studies since you have stated clearly that you are a student. In order not to get yourself pregnant, I suggest you abstain, but if you know you can't abstain, then you should use contraceptives. Remember, HIV/AIDS is real and is closer than you think. That's the answer. We go to the next question. Big lower abdomen. Big lower abdomen. The writer is Lisa Kumasi. My problem is that my lower abdomen is too big and it makes me shy to undress in front of my friends because they have flat abdomen. They wear tight dresses while I have to make do with loose ones. What should I do? My breasts also look abnormal. They are not as firm as those of my friends. I don't know if this is due to the bag I always hang over my shoulder. Okay. The dark portion of my right breast is bigger than the breast itself. The dark portion of my right breast is bigger than the breast itself, and the dark portion is now hanging. This makes me uncomfortable to undress in the presence of my boyfriend. Your boyfriend doesn't care about those things. Lisa. Okay. The area in between my thighs, extending to my genitals, is also itching. What should I do? I repeat, Lisa Kumasi. Doctor says, I don't know whether you have given birth before. If you have, if you have, then it's normal, as there is stretching of the muscles of the abdominal wall by the gravit uterus. Full stop. With this, an abdominal exercise can be of help. Paragraph. If it is that, if it is that you are generally fat, into brackets obese, then you have to shed some of the fat by doing regular typical exercise together with abdominal exercise. You have to also check your diet. You have to cut down on your fat intake and also eat carbohydrate foods with a lot of raw veggies, into brackets, fiber diet, and also a lot of vegetables. Paragraph. On the other hand, if you feel a mass in the lower abdomen, then this will probably be the cause of your big abdomen. See your doctor for examination if this is the cause. The consistency of breast varies from one individual to another. Your breast being soft and that of your friends firm does not in any way make yours abnormal. Your back has nothing to do with the consistency of your breast. Fine. Like all bilateral structures, a slightly a slight inequality in the size of the breast is normal. Full stop. It's important. It is important to note that a, a gross inequality in is often due not to due not only to overdevelopment of one breast, but may also result from arrest of growth of the smaller breast. The areola, darker portion into brackets, darker portion around the nipple, should not be bigger than the breast, and it should not also be hanging as in your case. Yes, I was wondering. Mm. This is abnormal. Do you not feel a do you feel a hard lump in that breast? I suggest you see a surgeon for both breasts to be examined for proper management if necessary. Mostly, obese individuals who sweat a lot have fungal infection in the groin. This results in an intense itch. The itch could also be due to irritating clothing, e.g., nylon, which should be avoided if it is the cause. The doctor has tackled all her questions, I believe. Paragraph. The itch could also be of psychogenic one. The itch could also be of a psychogenic one in the sense that there is actually no obvious cause, but the itching occurs in your mind. It could also be due to malignancies. It could also be due to malignancies, full stop. I suggest you see a dermatologist for treatment. Do not be shy to see a doctor. We go to another question. Here there is no clue. The scarlet finger. The questioner is not, the name of the questioner is absent here. The scarlet finger. The rail of my right middle finger is darker than the rest. Initially, there was no pain, hence slight pain. Initially, there was no pain, hence slight pain now. Is this normal? What is the cause of this? What should I do? Doctor says, discolorization, is it off? And then F, your breast. Okay, it's off. Discolorization of your nail is not normal. This condition is due to fungal infection, and in some cases, this may occur together with anaerobic organisms. This condition is common in individuals who do a great deal of work, who do a great deal of wet work, particularly with soap or detergent. This is to say, that is to say, this condition is common among housewives, bartenders, cleaners, kinky sellers, etc. It is also common in other people who continually push back the cuticle for cosmetic reasons. The cuticle pu- push back the pardon me, the cuticle for cosmetic reasons are liable to produce a pocket at the side or base of the nail, which will consequently be invaded by those microorganisms. Full stop. The condition can be treated by instilling Castellani's Castellani's paint, Castellani's paint under the fold. Antifungal drugs have to be taken to cater for the fungal infection. The affected hand should also be kept dry. It's important to know that treatment of infection of the nail is quite long. Yes. I will advise you to see a dermatologist for full investigation, counseling, and treatment. Okay. Then support a worthy cause. Contribute to Heart Foundation. This below the story. Now we go to the lawyer, the family lawyer. The first question is by Na Odumasi. There are so many Odumasis in Ghana, so I don't know. Maybe Odumasi Krobo or something, I don't know. Should I pay this compensation? I was driving on the Accra Aflau Road when my car veered from its lane into the other lane and hit an overcoming vehicle. My car was badly damaged as well as that of the other vehicle. An estimate of repairs due on the other car has been estimated at about 5 million cedis. By the other drive, as 5 million cedis by the other driver, and I undertook to repair it for him. I paid up 1 million to him as an advance payment, but he has now brought a revised bill of 9 million. Ghanaians or human beings. 5 million now to 9 million. Honestly, I do not have the money for such a bill. All my papers are in order, and he is threatening to let the police send the matter to court. What is your advice? Now, Odumasi, I think I read this paper. This story, sorry. Lawyer says, once all your papers, including the insurance policy, is in order, you need to be careful about money spent by you. For the danger, for the danger is that the other driver would collect the money and then pursue insurance claims as well. Paragraph. In your circumstance, I would advise that if the police wants to send the matter to court, let it be. If you are found guilty, your insurance would then be obliged to pay the claims of the other driver or owner. It could be advisable to immediately inform your insurers about the accidents even before it gets to court. Second question. uh, illegal transaction. I am a trader who plies between Accra, Lomé. I must confess that due to the high custom duties, we try to avoid payment of giving some of the payments. We try to avoid payment by giving some of the items to others to cross the border with them for us. Recently, one driver charged me and agreed to convey my unaccustomed goods for me. Unfortunately, I paid him, but the items have been impounded. I have therefore lost terribly. Can I sue the driver for the loss of items since I performed my part of the bargain by paying him what he charged? Ama Nsia, Juaso, Kumasi, Ghana. Lawyer says, don't waste your time in court. Whatever contract you had with the driver, once it involved the performance of an illegality that is that is smuggling, will not be enforced by any court in Ghana. Illegal contracts are against public policy and are regarded as void and of no effect. I think that's all for the lawyer. We had two questions for him. Then we have another portion here for jokes. Jokes. The flight. A naughty child was running, shouting and disturbing all the passengers on a flight from Ghana to Canada. A man sitting beside a child who could not stand the irritating behavior said this to the child. Hey, child, what is all this about? Why don't you go outside and play with your friends? In the flight, oh, say, hey, child, what is all this about? Why don't you go outside and play with your friends? Mhm. Then a second part is coming. Know your weight. A very stout woman was walking through the city of London when she noticed a weighing machine with the inscription, I speak your weight. With the inscription, I speak your weight. That's in big capital letters. She put a coin in the slot and stood on the platform, ready for the machine to weigh her. The machine answered, one person at a time, please. That means you should wait for the weight of the coin to be taken. Then after that, her own weight will then be taken. Okay. We end here, viewers. It's a very it's a page concerning very little. And, should we go to the religious section at once? Let's see. Okay, well, let's defer it. Let's wait. When we come back, we'll go to the religious section, and that will be page 13. Thank you very much. Ilalika Ibaba. May God bless you.